All right. This is a little bit more theory as to why you should do it the way that I'm telling to do it and why other people are telling you to do it the wrong way. I wish I knew this stuff years ago. I would have been a gazillionaire. But if you do it the way that I'm telling you to do it right now, this is where you're going to make a ridiculous amount of passive income. It's going to take you a little while. It takes me a while. Like, look how long this course is. It's already over a couple of hours. I had no idea when I started this course that it was going to be this long, but there's so many things, so many pieces that you have to get. And the biggest thing is to just get your noggin right. You have to do things in a certain way before you can actually attract people to your website, whatever it is. So let me just explain a little bit of theory 101, and hopefully this will make sense to you. So we'll call it massive list avalanche theory. You're getting this. Whatever it is that you just paid for in regards to this course, this is going to be worth it right here. Massive list avalanche theory. So you have a mountain here. Okay. So your nice little mountain. Look at this. Look at how nice this is. At the beginning, it's going to be a bitch to get up this mountain because you're carrying all your tools and everything. You're building your website, you're writing your emails, you're creating videos, you're building all your links, you're adding your Stripe account. Stripe. You got your Zoom account because you're recording your videos on Zoom or your iPhone, whatever it is. Got all that stuff going. There's lots of other parts that I've already shared in this video, in this course. But all this stuff is going to allow you to climb this mountain. Once you get to the top, something interesting happens because you have all this stuff built. A little tiny piece breaks off right here. And then it hits another piece of snow, and this breaks off, and then this breaks off. That's why you'll see my icon in my thumbnail is it's a picture of a mountain with an avalanche happening. So this is what happens. Once you have everything in place and you have enough things done correctly, an avalanche happens naturally. I can't communicate this enough. It will have no choice to happen. When you are on a mountain, if a mountain it has a 30-degree angle or more and snow begins to accumulate, it will be a matter of time before an avalanche, a natural avalanche will happen. You can't stop it. If your mountain is flat like this, let's just erase this. If your mountain is like this, I know this will maybe sound basic, but if you got a little bit like this is what happens to people as they build a little tiny hill. There's no way in heck an avalanche is going to start anywhere here because you're not past the 30-degree marker. And the stats are in that says that an avalanche is caused on a decline of 30 degrees or more. Once you hit 45, it's just a matter of time. The sucker's going to go. So if you're creating a little hill, what is a little hill? A little hill is where you don't create a Zoom account, you don't have your Stripe, maybe you build a website, but you're not making any videos. Or even worse, you create a YouTube channel, but for whatever reason, you don't have a website and you don't have an autoresponder. So I can't help you. If you don't have any of this stuff, I'll just call it auto res. You're not going to have an avalanche of emails. You're not going to have an avalanche of subscribers, people subscribing to your business, to your website, to your offer, whatever it is, all this kind of stuff. They're not going to do it because you haven't reached the 30-degree threshold of your mountain, of your empire. Once you hit 30 degrees or more, it's inevitable that you're going to get people subscribing to your website, whatever it is, your landing page, your YouTube channel, all this kind of stuff. But at the beginning, you got to have all this stuff in place because it's going to happen. I promise you. And you're going to kick yourself on the other side. If you don't do these things, because I've been there, you're going to kick the hell out of yourself and you're going to be like, why didn't I build a website? Why didn't I do what Shane said? Why didn't I get an autoresponder and get good at it? Why didn't I add all my links? Why didn't I create a Zoom account and attach my bank account? Because people are subscribing and I don't have a product for them. I'm telling you, start recording videos right now because an interesting thing happens. When you create a video and you don't even know what you're talking about at the beginning, you're like, I don't even know what my subject is, what my thing is. An interesting thing happens when you begin to speak, ideas begin to flow out, and all of a sudden you come up with your idea. That's how I came up with Massive List Avalanche. I didn't have that title when I first thought about making a course. I wanted to make a course on building an email list. And because I live close to the mountains, like we're probably like a half an hour away from the mountains, 40 minutes away, and we can be immersed in the mountains. I thought it's kind of cool when you build an email list. It's kind of like an avalanche. Once you put everything together, it's almost like snow continuously falling. It's so innocent at first, people are sticking out their tongue and they're like, oh, look at the snowflakes and all the stuff. But it keeps snowing. And when it keeps snowing, how that works is you have your email account set up, you're building your website, you're building your YouTube channel. Notice I didn't talk about Twitter or LinkedIn or any of this other stuff yet. That adds to your avalanche. But at the beginning, you're just rolling this big snowball. You're building it and you're actually rolling it up the hill. And when you get to the top, all you do is you just give it a little flick, and that's it. And all of a sudden, it begins to roll down the mountain and it begins to break other pieces of snow. And before you know it, you don't know when and where, but all of a sudden an avalanche hits. And it could be a video on your YouTube channel where all of a sudden you talk about something that resonates with people. And now you get a massive amount of people watching that video. You don't know which video it's going to be, but all of a sudden they watch. And what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to go into the description, especially if you tell them, if you want more help on this, if you want more insight on this, if you want free training, whatever it is, click on the description. And then it takes them to your website. And because you have everything built, maybe it took you a week to build. Maybe it took you 2 weeks to build. Who cares? But it's done. And now all you're doing is you're building content on your YouTube channel. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. It doesn't matter how many people you have on your list. You have to have everything built first. And this is my problem with some of the gurus, what they're telling you. When they're telling you invest like I did in hundreds of millions of dollars of real estate, and you could become a billionaire. You're missing the big picture. Like in the back, Be Obsessed. Grant Cardone wrote books. Grant Cardone is on YouTube almost every single day. Grant Cardone has real estate courses, and he has links that you can actually click on, and you can actually buy books from him directly from his website, from Amazon, wherever it is. He's doing all the things that I'm telling you to do. You need to have your own product. And how you get your first product is by doing this. Do what I'm doing right now. Just start talking into the microphone. All of a sudden, a gem will drop out, and you'll be like, I got it. This is the idea. So this is what Massive List Avalanche is all about. You're building a foundation, which is your mountain. And when it begins to snow, an avalanche is going to happen. And then that is you getting people to subscribe to your list. And from there, you can actually now begin to accumulate wealth. You can start making money. Now, I'm not going to promise you tomorrow you're going to make thousands of dollars. But if you're following what I'm teaching you, which is have a two-tier product right now. The first one is $7. The second one is $97. If you don't feel comfortable charging $97, do $47, whatever. But you need two options. People can choose the cheap one today because you want to entice them to make a decision. You want them to be an action taker. If they're not an action taker, you probably don't want them on your team. But if they're an action taker, it's actually going to save them money. If they're used to delaying things, it's going to actually hurt them in the end. Not because your price is higher, it's because that is the way that they're used to doing things. So you're actually teaching them to be an action taker, and action takers get shit done. They get stuff done. They finish things. They don't have to finish everything in one day, but they finish little tiny tasks and they check them off the list. I asked you to create a Zoom channel. If you haven't done that, you have to ask yourself why. I asked you to get a Stripe account. It's free. If you haven't done that, you have to ask yourself why. I said create a Gmail, use HostGator, use Aweber, use Calendly, connect all this stuff together. If you haven't done anything and you're just like, you know what? I know I paid the $7 or the $97 or whatever it is that you paid. I'm just going to go through all the videos and then I'm going to come back and do it. And I've done this before. You can do that. But what happens is life gets in the way and you get distracted. So the easiest thing is just go through my checklist. If there's something that you don't understand and you're not sure about, email me. Just email me at shane@massivelist.com and we'll figure it out together. And the easier way is to just pay for my $27 Zoom training. So every week we jump on a Zoom call. It's once a week, but the $27 is for life. You're in. You don't have to pay anything else. And you get to listen in on conversations where we talk about strategies. We can subscribe to your YouTube channel. We can have a look at your emails that you've written. We can subscribe to that email list that you have, and it'll come to our box, because that's part of the deal of joining our Zoom group is we help each other build each other's lists and test it out. We can say, hey, you don't even have a link. Your link is broken, or you spelt this person's name wrong, or when I go to that website, it's not running, whatever it is. But we can do that as a synergy. And that's why I charge the $27, because it basically just covers some of the admin stuff. So hopefully that makes sense. It's not for me to get rich off of that. Where you get rich is when you build all this stuff in so that you can create a avalanche. And once you get to that point where the avalanche, the snow is built up so much on that mountain, there's no choice for it to happen. So hopefully this makes sense. Guys, like what I'm telling you right now, they're not teaching you this stuff. They're not teaching this in school. They're not. Tai Lopez Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, Sam Ovens, nobody's teaching this stuff. All they're doing is they're teaching you the last piece of the puzzle. They're not teaching you the beginning. And this is the hard stuff. This isn't sexy. This is not the easy stuff to do. But if you want to get good at this, you have to put everything behind this and get it done. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It's going to be a big pile of crap at the beginning. It's going to be a big pile of molten lava crap. You're going to make mistakes and you're going to make videos and you're going to look like crap. Look at this. I don't even have time to shave. I'm just trying to get stuff done. Speaking of Avalanche, at the time of watching this, I don't know when you're watching this, but the Colorado Avalanche may or may not be Stanley Cup champions. It's kind of interesting. I've never been to Colorado. The point is, there is no point. I just remembered that there's a playoff game tonight. The point is, though, get stuff done because nobody else is teaching you this. Grant Cardone isn't teaching you how to build a website. He's not teaching you how to create an email series, a follow-up series. He's not teaching you how to set everything up so that you could start making cash hola. We haven't even talked about getting traffic to all this stuff because you're still at the point where you're building everything. That's the fun part. That's the fun part, is when your list starts building up and then you have a few offers on the table and they can decide, you know what, I'm going to test this guy out. I'm going to pay the $7. I'm going to pay the $97. I'm going to jump on a Zoom and pay $1,000, $2,000. This is how you make a ton of cash. So if you're not sure how to do that, there's multiple ways. You can pay for my course, wherever the link is. Could be $7, could be $97. You can join us on the Facebook group. You can go check that out as well. You can go watch a ton of videos and figure out how to do it. You've already paid the course. You're watching this video. Just do the homework. Get stuff done. That's it for today. I will see you in another video. Bye for now.